afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you on our show race previews after 3 weeks of not racing here in Mauritius due to bad weather conditions. And warm welcome to Devon Habib, our racing consultant from South Africa. How are you, Devon?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing, yeah?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, very good. Look, it's been a long time since we've done this, and
We've missed racing.
Yeah, we've missed it, and it's been a long month for us without racing. But we're back. The track's in good condition. It's 2.85, good to soft, and I think we're in for good racing come Saturday.
Exactly,
Sunday.
yeah. So before we start, just to inform our viewers that the track reading is normal at 2.85 and the force race are at 4.50 meters. So now we start with race 1, the Jaden Gentil Miraculous Cup race, which will be run over 1365 meters, 0 to 15, with 5 runners, number 1 Constitutional, number 2 Gold Lining, number 3 Sergeant York, number 4 Chestnut Cove, and number 5 Rochester. Devon, what are your picks for this first race?
Yeah, look, I like this horse Chestnut Cove. As you know, I tip him every time, and I think this is the time that he's going to get it done. I'm quite big on him, and I think going his second run this season, I think it's ready for him to bounce and win. I think he's been running against some decent horses, like Benny the Jew, Enigma Code, Oxford Blue, the Gypsy King. I think he's got a big chance, you know.
Though he was slow at the gates last time, still managed to finish in the placings.
And he wasn't starting out, so
yeah.
I think if they've got this horse in the right space, which he looks like he's in the right space, and I think it's going to be quite hard for them to beat him come race day.
Followed by number 3, Sergeant York, beaten favorite on his first outing. The horse, I think, is a bit immature, and he's moving up to 1365 meters from 990 meters.
Yeah, look, Sergeant York is the horse to beat, but I just wanted to touch on the race review to show, the rerun to show you how this horse was running on last time. So we can see he was running a really big race, and I think come race day, he might be pigging back Sergeant York. I think that's the horse he has to beat, obviously. But let's watch it.
So I think we have some technical issues. We'll move on now with your other picks. Number 5, Rochester.
Yeah, look, Rochester, also a decent form, working well in a new stable now, so I think that's the key factor that this horse could do some change. He's dropped highly in the mid racing.
He's moved to Dominic Zaki's stable.
Yeah, and their stable's in really good form. Derek's in good form, and look, he's dropped heavily in the ratings, and he's running at
quite
a 9.
Consistent horse in his performance, so I think he might be there.
100%. I mean, he's not a 0-15 rated horse. He came here at 34 rating, so I think he's got a massive chance, big step down in class, and he's definitely the dark horse in the race, in my opinion.
And finally, number 1, Constitutional. The horse had some respiratory issues on his first outing. On his last outing last year, but he has been trained at Petit Gamay. He want to follow.
Yeah, look, for me, something has to run fourth, and it was between Gold Lining or Constitutional. And I guess Constitutional might just be there, but not a big fan of the horse, not a big fan of the other 2 horses in the rest of the field, so I'm tipping him to run fourth purely on just whatever there is left. I don't really like him, to be honest with you.
So I'll remind our viewers of your picks for race 1. For the win, number 4, Chestnut Cove, and for the placings, number 3, Sergeant York, number 5, Rochester, and number 1, Constitutional. Moving on to race 2, la Journée Mondiale de la Danse Cup, 990 meters, 0 to 20. Number 1, Almost Winter, number 2, Walnut, number 3, Badawi, number 4, Shesh Besh, and number 5, Red Rock Canyon. I see you put Badawi as your main pick in this race, Devon.
Yeah, look, Badawi, for me, definitely the right horse in the race. I think it's going to be very hard to beat him. He's a 7-time winner, I think 7 or 8-time winner, and Almost Winter is a maiden. For me, and he's given him 1 kilo. So I think it's very hard to beat this horse. I think
Exactly.
Badawi's he could be a banker for me. I'm very confident in him. He's working extremely well, as you can
Mine as
check,
well, yeah.
and he
You
has his work.
can see his track work here at Petit. He has received a special preparation, Devon.
Yeah, look, I think he's a really decent horse, and he's the front runner. So obviously the pace in the race is almost Winter and him. They're gonna fight out for the lead, but he's definitely the one that has the experience. He's got the wins behind his name, and
He's got
getting
Stefan Deneuve on board.
he's got a good jockey, and I think this could be Simon Jones's first winner for the season and open his account. So yeah, looking forward to that race, and yeah, I'll make him my first selection quite strongly.
And for the placings, number 1, Almost Winter. I think this horse, in my opinion, does have a big heart since he always missed the last meters every time. But the first run did him good though.
Yeah, look, the first run of the season was quite impressive. Look, they took off the noseband and the rest of the gear, so maybe that's what was irritating him. But I think it's going to be quite hard for him to beat Badawi. For me, it just doesn't make sense. So the maiden carrying 61 and the 7-time winner carrying 60. I'm going purely on weight in this race, and I'm quite strong on Badawi. I think Almost Winter will definitely run second. For third, look, I like a little bit of Sesh Besh, but if it was a little bit further, I think 990 is way too short for him.
Exactly.
And he is a nice horse. So
do you go at Petit?
I do watch a few gallops there, but
He seems like a bit like a touchy horse, this Sheshbesh.
look, he is very hot, and he is like a very excited horse, and I think he just needs to like obviously settle in, and then once he settles and when he goes over further, I think he'll be a better horse.
And finally, to complete the quartet, Red Rock Canyon with Devon Habib on board, drawn number 2 in the stalls.
Yeah, look, his form is very poor, but he is a nice looking horse, and I think he's definitely got some sort of ability. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him running in the back end of quartets.
So it's number 3, Badawi for the win, and for the placings, number 1, Almost Winter, number 4, Sheshbesh, and number 5, Red Rock Canyon. So the third race, the Sandip BMG Great Kathak Dancer and Choreographer Memorial Cup race, which will be run over 1365 meters, benchmark 31 with 5 runners. Number 1, Chapter and Verse, number 2, Flowerscape, number 3, Oxford Blue, number 4, Well Connected, and number 5, Spiritual Win. So Devon, number 3, Oxford Blue, impressive win last time, dropping down in benchmark 31, first row, and Derek David on board.
Yeah, he ran in a harder race last time, and he ran against a nice horse. He beat a decent horse like of Desert Boy, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him bounce back. I actually like him very strong. I think he'll follow up on his last win, and I think he'll win quite well again. I mean, you can watch his rerun. Yeah, it was ultra impressive. He won a really good race under Derek, and yeah, it's going to be quite hard to beat this horse. He's sitting second with the purple, and as they turned for home, it was just like race over.
So he'll again, sit in the second position.
Yeah, look, I'm not
with
sure how much
Flowerscape
pace.
as
Yeah.
the leader.
Flowerscape obviously will lead, and he'll
Yeah.
run seconds, I think, or sit for second, and then come for home, do the exact same thing as last time, and just pull the trigger at about the 300 and race over. Yeah, he has a year on the outside with the purple, and you can just see as Derek changes the stick, it's just puts the race to bed, puts the rest of them to sleep, and says, "Let's go. Good night, sweetheart." Yeah, he'll
Very
definitely
impressive,
follow
as
up
we see,
100%. Yeah, he won with a lot of authority there, and I think he's got a lot more to come, and I do like him going forward for the season as well. He's got draw 1, Derek on, Zaki Stables in form. Yeah, this is going to be a very hard horse to beat. I'll make him one of my best bets on the card.
And for the placings, number 2, Flowerscape from Kusraj Ramana's stable, last time winner, drawn number 4 in the stores, tactical race last time. Can he try a pillar to post this time also?
Look, he is the fifth horse in the race. It's his third run for the season, cherry ripe. I think he's definitely the biggest danger to Oxford Blue in my opinion, but I just like Oxford Blue as a horse. I think he's a strong horse, and Flowerscape's in good form, so we can't be foolish to leave him out. So I'm going to tip him to run second. He's going up in class now. So, well, it's the same class he won last time, but I mean, he's starting to go up with class. And I think might just find it a bit tough because these are horses that are also progressing.
Especially Oxford Blue is now four years old compared to 6-year Flowerscape.
100%, yeah. He's a nice young horse, and I think he's going to be a nice horse for the season to follow. Put this in your black book.
And number 4, well connected with Stéphane Deneuillot on board, draw number 5. This horse, I think if he doesn't encounter any issues at the starting gate, he's going to be there. Like, he's the dark horse of the race.
Look, if well connected jumps, there's no race.
Exactly.
If he jumps on terms, there's hardly any race. I think he'll win quite easily. He's dropping in heavily in class from a 51. I see one of his highest ratings that he raced in to a 31. That's 20 points. That's massive. It's like 4 divisions that he's dropping. So I think he definitely is a horse that we have to keep an eye on. But these horses, you can't rely on them, and it's very hard for them to, you know, to be confident because of the way they get left at the pens. It's a big thing in a 1365. Not easy to make up that ground.
And number 5, Spiritual Win with Rakesh Bhagirathi on board, draw number 2 in the stalls. He's an in and out performer, tongue-tied for the first time.
No, 100%. I think the tongue tie might be the trick for this horse, because you can see he's got the ability, but the form's not there. So hopefully he can bounce back to it, and maybe that's the trick. So then I've put him in for my 4th selection.
So it's number 3, Oxford Blue for the win and for the placings. Number 2, Flowerscape. Number 4, Well Connected. And number 5, Spiritual Win.
That's correct.
Moving on to race 4, the Mauritian Singers and Dancers Cup. 1400 meters, 0-225. And number 1, Light of My Life. Number 2, Now Fazmal. Number 3, Sun Tiger. Number 4, Neville Mu. Number 5, Moroccan Retreat. And number 6, French Rebel. Devon, Light of My Life, confident win last time. He has been kept in good condition, draw number 5 in the stalls. And we'll have a claimer, Nabil Sheikh Bachamia.
Yeah, I like his horse quite strongly today. I think he's a very good horse, and I think he's improving throughout the season. He's going to be a nice horse. And if you go back a little bit in his form, he beats Instinctive Power.
Yeah.
And I think Instinctive Power is a nice horse. So, he beat Flowerscape last time. Flowerscape came out to win. I do make him one of my first selections in the race, or very strong selection actually. And yeah, I think Nagadu's got the horses in fine form, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning quite well. He has the rerun of how he won last time, and yeah.
We're watching his race here.
He's sitting second with the purple and silver, and I think he's got a chance to do it again. I think he'll win the same way he did last time. As Nabil changes his stick again, this horse just kicks and race over again. Puts him to sleep. You can see Flowerscape in second there. He just puts him on his back foot and says, yeah. So he won quite well.
And he didn't even bleed after that race.
Yeah, look, I think they've got him in the right space now. He's running behind nice horses, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him win again.
What about number 5, Moroccan Retreat with Bernard Federer on board, number 2 in the stalls, dropping down in 0.25. He's in a very good form, this horse, and has been well prepared at Petit Gamma.
Yeah, look, his work has been well, and he's working extremely well, but some horses work well and they don't perform on the track, so we can't really only rely on the work, but I mean,
don't you think he's the main danger of Light of My Life?
Look, obviously he's the main danger for me. He is definitely the main danger. It's between him and Neville Mu to be his biggest danger. He's run behind nice horses. King of Colts R8 is a very nice horse. Massimo is a very nice horse. He beat Sacred Knight. Good horse. I mean, he's run against really top horses and higher divisions. So, yes, he's got a chance. But for me, I think he's going to have to obviously beat Light of My Life. And I think jockey tactics will come down to the main factor, and they're almost carrying the same weight, so he's only half a kilogram heavier. Light of My Life. It's going to be quite a good race. Let's see come race day. I mean, he enjoys the distance, so yeah, he's definitely got a chance.
And number 4, Neville Mu, I think the horse needed the first run. He has shown progress at track work.
Yeah, and he ran a nice second last time. I mean, it's a little bit of a step up for him, But I think he's a big runner as well. The biggest danger for me as well. One of the biggest dangers.
And finally, number 6, French Rebel. The horse lost 1 shoe last time. Do you think we need to follow this horse?
Yeah, look, he's a nice horse and he's working well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him bounce and do something, you know. I wouldn't be surprised to see him
An
run in a good
outsider's
race. Yeah, an
chance.
outsider for this race. But more for like a place, not for a win.
So number 1, Light of My Life for the win, and number 5, Moroccan Retreat, number 4, Navy Lemieux, and number 6, French Rebel for the placings. Moving on to race 5, the DC Event Cup, which will be run over 1500 meters in benchmark 41 with 5 runners. Number 1, Runs Joy. Number 2, the 8 Flood. Number 3, Crazy Charlie. Number 4, Do or Dare. And number 5, Castle of Gloss. Your best bet last time, Devon, number 4, Do or Dare from Nagadu's stable, moving up in distance this time. And in benchmark 41, superb win-loss outing. Do you think the field is a bit strong this time, or can he double the win?
I'm going to rephrase. I think I made him my bet of the century last time. And I would say, again, bet of the day, I'm very confident Do or Dare. I mean, we can watch his rerun. He won ultra impressive. It was honestly, it was like a no race for him. He played games with the field. He could have won by 10 if he pushed those horse out. And I'm saying he could have won by 10 if he pushed it out and gave it a smack or two, you know. I mean, he won very impressively. His time was really good. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse win the same way again. I'm very confident. He loves the wet, and the track's a little bit soft, so it will suit him as well. And yeah, he's definitely a big runner. Look at him. He's played games with this field.
Yeah. I think this run has improved a lot after this run.
And there, he just puts his stick down and poses. Doesn't even come off the bit. Like, it's a very easily winner. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him doing it again.
And number 3, Crazy Charlie, impressive track work. First outing did him good. He can be there if the pace is strong.
Look, the reason why I've put him for second is he's one of the only horses that have beaten Do or Dare. So he is a danger for him.
He's in top form.
He's in top form. He's got a good jockey as a cash on him, and I think massive runner. He's obviously the horse to beat, and well, Do or Dare is the horse to beat in my opinion, but he's the horse that will give him his biggest run for his money, and he's working extremely well. So I think he's definitely my second selection. For third, I don't know, I like a little bit of this horse, Castle of Glass. He was a really good horse in South Africa, and he's come here and he's done nothing wrong. He's run second, third, second. Yeah. He's with the new stable now, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a nice race.
He's expected to run well.
I think he'll be running on. He might just need it. And for fourth, obviously, Runs Joy has to go in. He's got good form. I just think he might need this run as well. It's a little bit, maybe it's a bit far for him. But he's won over that distance. You know, for his first run, it might be a bit far. So let's see how he goes. I'm not going to make him my best bet yet until I see how he runs.
Okay, he's got the first row, Jamir Ali Hussein on board.
I see you're not too confident. I think that's your best bet for the day.
It's my best bet of the day, because this horse, he's quite a consistent one. He has won many times, like over this distance, and with the fourth race and all, I think he'll be there. He'll be right there, and he runs well, also fresh.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong completely, but yeah,
we see that in race.
I'm sticking my neck out Do or Dare. So this is a match race, you and me, yeah?
Exactly. So number 4, Do or Dare for the win. And for the placings, number 3, Crazy Charlie. Number 5, Castle of Gloss. And number 1, Runs Joy. Now the main race, the 6th race, which will be run over 1400 meters, benchmark 66. Number 1, Special Blend from Yannick Pedro's stable. Number 2, Trippies Express from Sharma Chan stable. Number 3, Editaro Trail from Shirish Narang stable. Number 4, Tower of Wisdom from Samraj Mahadia stable. And number 5, Dynamite Jack from Dominic Zaki's stable. Number 1, Special Blend, last time winner last season. Good jockey on board. Draw number 3 in stalls and 1400 meters. Good for a start, Devon.
Yeah, look, I think this is the horse they all have to beat. Let's talk about the field itself. I think it's a very tough race. I could make an account for every single horse in this race and give you a reason why I think every horse could win. But I'm sticking my neck out for Special Blend. He's working well. He's in good form. And I like the run behind Walls of Dubrovnik over 1400. I think there's no Walls of Dubrovnik here. And yeah, he's definitely a massive runner. So I'm going to stick my neck out and put him for first. I think Bernard might be the trick for this horse. He loves the horse and they work well together. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He worked extremely well.
You're going to see his track work here, especially.
Yeah. And for second, I think Dynamite Jack, he ran a really good race last time. And with it being in a new stable, he ran a good race. I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a good race again. He's got a low weight of 55. And yeah, he's definitely a big runner.
And Dynamite Jack will be having only 55 kg. And up in close also with Swapnil Rama on board. But I think he's the main danger of Special Blend, as you're saying.
100%. And then look, obviously we got to touch on Detroit Trail. He's a really good horse. He's run against top horses as well. I mean, if you look at his form.
He's been trained methodically.
And yeah, he's in a good space. So I think he's definitely my third selection. And for fourth, we can't leave out a horse like Trippies Express. I think he's a very nice horse as well. He did beat Special Blend last time, but that was over 1600. So let's see how it goes. I think that, like I said, it's a very open race. I mean, Tower of Wisdom also runner. It's hard to single out one, but I'm gonna tip Special Blend as my first selection for sure.
So Special Blend for the win, and for the placings, number 5, number 3, and number 2, Trippies Express.
And he's actually one of my value bets on the day, Special Blend. I think he's a decent price as well.
Yes, with Bernard Habib on board. Moving up to race 7, the Dean Holland Australian Jockey Memorial Cup, which will be run over 990 meters, benchmark 36. Dean Holland, Australian jockey who lost his life very sadly in races.
It was terrible. It was a terrible fall, and
well.
it was very sad to see that. And my condolences go to him and his family, and to the whole racing industry. It's a very sad moment for them, and yeah, may his soul rest in peace, and may he ride with the great legends of the past.
May he ride high. So with 6 runners, number 1, Desert Boy, number 2, King of Colts, number 3, El Patron, number 4, Ninuto, number 5, Good Body, and number 6, Captain Persha. For the win, you put number 2, King of Colts, starting his season 2023 in benchmark 36. Condition-wise, how do you see this horse?
I see this horse winning, and winning easily. I think there's no race. I'm quite confident on him.
Think he's going to lead?
I think he's going to lead, and well, I don't know if he's going to lead, but I think he'll be second, maybe behind Desert Boy. But I do fancy this horse very strong. I think his form's really good. He's definitely my value bet for the day, and he's at a decent price. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning.
And number 1, Desert Boy, favorite of this race. He looks like the one to beat. 990 meters. He's a specialist in this distance. What do you think, Devon?
Yeah, look, he's obviously the danger. He's definitely the danger to King of Colts, and he did run a good race last time, and he's fit. So yeah, he's definitely the danger. So, and he's got draw 1. He's got a lot of positives to his name, but I think King of Colts is a nice horse, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning again. I think he's a very progressive sort.
And number 6, Captain Persha, won his Boyer trial last week, club jockey on board. This will be his first race here in MU.
Yeah, look, I think he's a nice horse. I know him from South Africa, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a good race. He enjoyed Turfentine inside track, which is quite short, like a shorter track, and it's very sharp. So it's almost the same as Mauritius. I think he might just suit it, jump, go. There might be a lot of pace in this race if you're looking at it, and I think he's a big runner. I want to see how he goes. I'm not tipping him for first yet, but I think he might be a nice horse for Mauritius.
And number 3, El Patron. I think the field will be more strong this time. Benchmark 36 will not have an easy lead in the front.
Yeah, look, most definitely last race was a very big run from him. He won a really good race. But if you go back in his form a little bit later, he's running much higher. He's
Yeah.
running 46 and 36. So he's definitely a big runner as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him staying on, you know. It's a very hot race. It's going to be...
With Desert
lot of
Boy on
pace.
his inside, first row, King of course, third row, I don't
And Good
think.
Buddy goes to the front. So there's a lot of pace in this race. I think
Exactly.
King of
So,
Course, as I said, might just be able to come from off them.
Yeah.
Sit second, third on the rail and pull the trigger, 300 to go and race over.
So for the win, number 2, King of Courts, and for the placings, number 1, Desert Boy, number 6, Captain Persha, and number 3, El Patron. We now move on to the 8th and last race of Saturday, the Candle Cove Cup, with 6 runners, 1400 meters, 0 to 25. Number 1, Sino's Guess, number 2, Sun and Strahl, number 3, Double Think, number 4, Gordonstown, number 5, San Andreas, and number 6, Duke of Abercorn. For the win, Devon, you put number 3, Double Think from Sharma Chan stable. Same jockey on board. Moving up in 0 to 25, but he's got a claimer, draw number 2 in the stores. Can it be difficult for him this time?
No, I think I like the horses that like run second, third, and then they win. Their confidence is just on another level afterwards. I mean, you can watch his rerun. He ran a really good race last time. He's got the red and silver. I mean, very, very heartly horse. And he's always been consistent. He's just bumped really good horses before that. One day one Instinctive Power. I think those are top horses. And he beat Into the Mystic. I think he's a very big runner again, you know. Like, I think with the confidence that he's got, I think he's going to be a very, very nice horse going forward for the season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning 3 or 4 this season. As he can
The
see,
circumstances were in his favor as well, I think.
I mean, you can see this gave him a lot of confidence now. This horse is really going to enjoy that. And now with that confidence, he might be a totally different horse. I like to follow up when horses break their maidens after having so many seconds and thirds.
And number 4, Gordonstown, unlucky last time, beaten by a very good Poetic License. He can try a pillar to post this time with Jamia Aliosan on board.
Look, it was a really good ride from Jamia last time. He went to the front and he tried to steal the race. And I think he caught them off, like almost sleeping. And Poetic License was just a really, really nice horse on the day. And yeah, I do think Poetic License is a good horse going forward. He actually was one of my selections for the meeting tomorrow, but obviously he's scratched. So yeah, I think Gordonstown is the biggest danger to Double Think, and I just feel like Double Think might get a nice lead from Gordonstown and then turn for home, and same thing like last time, like fight on, you know, towards the end.
And number 6, Duke of Abercorn, who didn't show much on his first outing, and draw number 1 in the stores. Stefan Denouille on board.
Yeah, look, it's just a lot of talk about this horse. Everyone likes the way he's working. Everyone's talking about him. So I did do a lot of like research on him, and I did look at him, and I do think he's working alright. You know, not bad work. He's working really good. So he's definitely one that we have to factor in for the placings, most definitely.
And number 5, San Andreas from Mahadia stable. He didn't show much in 2022 with some health issues, but I think the break has done him good enough.
Yeah, look, he is a nice horse, so I think we got to put him in because he's running against a lot stronger, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him running on for the back end of things. But yeah, he's not a strong selection.
So number 3, Double Think for the win, and for the placings, number 4, Gordonstown, number 6, Duke of Abercorn, and number 5, San Andreas. I'm going to ask you, Devon, about your best bet for Saturday.
Look, my best bets, I've got 2. I think Do or Dare most definitely will be my best bet of the day. Like, that's my banker for sure. And I think Oxford Blue, he's also a really nice horse. I think I'm going to make him my best bet. And for you, your best bet?
My best bet will be Badawi in race 2, horse 3.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good bet. I won't lie. I do like him as well, and I can agree with you on that.
An easy win.
Yeah, I think he'll be an easy winner as well.
And your value bets?
My value bet comes up in race 5, I think it is. It's race 6 with Special Blend. I think he's a nice value, and I like a little bit of King of Colts as a value bet as well.
So I'll remind our viewers your best bets are race number 3, horse number 3, Oxford Blue, race number 5, horse number 4, Do or Dare, and as for value bet, race number 6, horse number 1, Special Blend, and race number 7, horse number 2, King of Colts. So we have now reached the end of our show. I'd like to thank all our viewers for joining us today, and also our racing consultant Devon Habib for his presence and analysis.
It's only a pleasure, and I'll see you very soon for the preview of the Sunday race meeting.
And not to forget our production team behind the cameras. I wish you all, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing weekend of racing.